Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 12 of Fun with Fallen Flags. We visited in our last video the Colorado Model Railroad Museum. The museum is located in Greeley, Colorado, right adjacent to the Union Pacific tracks. And I was in the building when a train went by, and you could definitely tell you were right next to the tracks. This layout was built by an individual named Dave Trussell, and it opened in 2009. The senior editor of Model Railroader, Jim Heidegger, is one who visited and said that it was the finest layout that he'd ever seen. It's huge. It's 5,500 square feet. There's thousands of trees on it. Give me a second. There's 16,000 fir trees, 8,000 deciduous trees, and 4,000 aspen trees. That's a lot of trees. So I don't care if you bought them or you made them. From what I understand is they made them. But even if you bought them, that's still a lot of trees. Figure how long it would take for you to put 1,000 trees on your layout, much less what is that? 28,000 trees. 28,000 trees. That's ridiculous. They have other events there. They had a Lego table. I didn't take pictures of that. My wife, big Lego fan, lots of pictures of that. So they also had some events, and Harry Potter themed day is the first Saturday in January. And again, I'm getting this off of the website that they have, and I'll put that on the credits at the end. Extreme Trains Weekend in April. That sounds exciting. Dinosaur Days. They have a dinosaur hunt, and I found the dinosaur on the layout. It might have been moved, but I took a picture of it so that I have proof that I found the dinosaur for the daily dino hunt, it's called. So anyway, I'm not going to read all of it. Go to their website and you can check it out. We're going to go ahead and get started and look at some of the photography that I took so that you can get a better sense of the detail, because a lot of times the video pans and doesn't really take in a lot of the video, a lot of the detail. So we'll look at some of that right now. So let's get started. Here we are back in Greeley, Colorado at the museum. Right across the street, and across the railroad tracks for that matter, is a bunch of grain elevators. If you want to model one, it'd be a great place to take some shots. There's some further down the tracks as well. Once you get inside, you can see how large the place is, and aisles to move up and down. The scenery and the backdrops are just beautiful. The scenes, there's lots of separate scenes that you can take a look at. The dispatcher sits right inside the front door. They don't hide him, so you can walk up and talk to him. Bring your camera. I actually brought a couple different types of cameras. This guy's actually photographing his family with his camera. And the scouts. Somebody brought the scouts. So this is a full-size standard gauge railroad caboose that sits inside the facility, which gives you an idea how big it is. It was kind of cool to get inside and walk around. There's a harbor scene. Boats on their own stands that can move around and simulate the motion of traffic along the docks. There's a bear in the center of this picture, scratching his back, and that's the proof right there that I found the dinosaur. So some of the areas have logging. This one is a logging environment, and it shows you logging traffic from cutting down and gathering the trees and taking them down to facilities so that they can get processed and shipped off into a harbor. And they actually reverse the process to take the material, the cars at the end of an operating session, so you can start the process all over again. There's a mining facility, and it's got a ton of detail. There is people and cars and material and 3 guys on the balcony right there. The cities have tons of detail. There's cars and people, and it's amazing the activity that you can pick out. The theater is actually showing Monty Python right now, so, which I thought was pretty funny. So lots and lots of activity with the model railroad cars and engines, but even when that's not going on, the scenery is really dramatic. I really like the way they did the water. Southern Pacific, Santa Fe, BNSF, there's lots and lots of road names if you're interested in a specific one. I don't know if they do requests. That's not something that I asked them. Maybe they do requests. Some of the cities were pretty immense. The power lines ran all over the layout. It was pretty amazing. They had a couple engine facilities, but like I said in the previous video, it didn't dwarf the scenes. It was nice that they added it. They added some rip tracks and some maintenance of way tracks. Somebody had fun with that car under the soldering iron. The diesel facilities were nice, but again, they weren't just so overwhelming, but they were present so that if they needed to simulate any of that type of traffic in and out of the facilities, they could. My wife was fascinated with the fire scene. They had a push button where you generate smoke, and then the fire scene would come alive with the emergency responders. Lots of traffic along the railroad routes, and you could see the signals operate, and it would trigger the controllers to actually take action moving into the next block. The cities were huge. There was a couple different cities, but this one was very large, and again, another fire scene that you could push the button and generate some smoke. But I like the kind of the one-off little buildings that were, you know, didn't really draw a lot of attention to themselves, but really added a lot of flavor to the layout. So we generally saw a lot of diesel, but there was some steam. This was a really long passenger train. The water scenes, they had different things. There was bears, there was guys getting knocked out of their canoes, there was cattle, there was all kinds of stuff. Really, to appreciate it, you really need to go. Steam engine on display, obviously. I really like this scene for some reason. It just reminded me of Colorado. Alright, that's going to do it for this week. Next week is going to be episode 13, Fun with Fallen Flags. And if you like the video, please go ahead and click the thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, make sure you click the thumbs up. And subscribe just to make sure that you get any announcements of the next video when it comes out and that type of thing. So anyway, thanks everybody for joining, and we will see you next week.